start recording once again today. It's my second time recording, but it was in the morning recording, and it is early evening here in Sweden, and I felt me lonely. I have been working for some hours for God, making connection with people and try to open up a new platform on the internet. And I have placed this podcast in other platforms that I have found, and I wish I could find more platform all over the world. I have platforms in India, and I have one platform in Africa, but I needed to get more. I have tried to get my podcast to Korea, South Korea, and because I know that they are the most listener to podcast there, and today I got my new platform to be on Alexis, and that's good also, and some other platforms. That is no, the platform is for the apps. I don't use my telephone so much. It's my phone is about 5-6 years old, but it like new because I don't use it so much, and so I was very happy. I don't know what happened, but I was talking about this morning about helping me to reach out to more people with my podcast, and suddenly I got 256 downloads in 1 hour, and everything was from United States. So I don't know what happened, but God knows what happened. If there was someone that helped me to share, to tell that this podcast exists, or if it was because I was to a new platform, but mostly it take some hours, maybe one day, 24 hours to start to see the effect of it. So I don't know what happened, but I'd be very happy because suddenly there was 256 downloads, and that's good. One of the best days I have had so far, in 1 hour. The whole day I have had more than 256 listeners, but in 1 hour is it very good. So I think this spirit that come through in the morning knew I was he maybe was standing and listened at me also. And of course they know everything, so he knew that I was sad because it was those in United States that I had very much. They seems to have disappeared, all of them, and and then suddenly it come 256 downloads from United States. So something happened, and I say that in the morning that it's I can't do so much. I did by placed the podcast on one platform that had some apps added to it. Um, but I say that in the morning that it must be the spirits must help me. I can't do so much on my own. I can't force people to come and listen. So if heaven, if the spirits want people to come and listen to my podcast, those spirits have to push people to my podcast that suddenly they, of some unexpected reason, they suddenly see my podcast. And I think it was not only this that I felt me lonely now, and I have no one to talk to more than you that listen to my podcast. And so I felt me very lonely, and then because today it's rainy, it's a little wind going on, and the wind is cold, so I have not been. I was out in the morning in the garden, in Jesus' garden, but it have not been so nice weather to be out, so I have not could drive to the forest or somewhere else to only be outside. So that make me feel a little lonely, because I could drive and see people, but I don't see people here, and I have no one to call, no one to take contact with, and Facebook, that was my friend for many years. It have like people have died away from Facebook. I added since 2007. I added church leaders and leaders for different religions, and they have died. Not only because of age, it's because it have been young leaders that have died. So, for me, I see it that God take them away, and these leaders have not liked me at all. It have only been one man that have been a little interested of what I'm saying, what I write, and but I have had about through the years, I maybe have had 30,000 friends that have coming in and walk away and block me because they don't like what I am saying, and because they I think they be scared, because if they read what I write, and I have done the videos, they realize that something have been wrong. What I have learned from my parents, from other churches, from other leaders, and what I think it should be like, and people go scared. It's not they go angry. It's very few, I think, that go angry and hate me. It's they be confused and frightened. That's how I see it, because I try to have love for people, so I try to understand them in a better way than only say, oh, they are hate me and they are angry at me. No, I believe they are frightened and scared. Dogs, they bite. So that's how I see it, as they have run away from me and not want to be my friends. So I have only you to talk to, but also in the same time I feel that someone wanted me to feel alone, because that spirit want to come and talk, and I feel it. That is someone, and it look like a woman that is coming through, and she have her dress is long down to the floor. She is like Victorian, the Queen Victoria of England. Now I see her more clear, because she have like brownish purple, dark brown purple shining dress on her, and then she have this hat they have in Victorian area where this they close it under the cheek, and it's a big hat with something ribbon up in the top as a flower, like a flower. She had that, and it seems like she is grieving. Someone have died recently, because she have these dark clothes. They don't need it to have black clothes. They can have a little nicer clothes on, even if they were grieving. And she's showing me now, because she move around her hands, that she have black, or same color as the dress, like brown purple gloves. So she's very well dressed, so she's not a poor person. She is like a noble person. So I assume she is connected to me, because in both my parents, but especially my mother, was connected to the Queen of England, the royals in England. She is, and I am, of course, because I am her daughter. but it's not my mother, because this one is in the 1800, like that, for almost 200 years ago. And she say, I'm worried. She start to say that, I'm worried, she say. I ask her if it's she that have make me feel like lonely. And I understand it now, because she have grief and she have lost her husband and she feel lonely. That's why I felt it today. It was not me, myself, that was lonely. The spirit of her was lonely. And I'm worried, she said. I am worried about all these children, she say, and she look around like there is children around her, but it isn't. But she's showing that she look down because they are shorter than her. There is children she look at, and what become of them when the world look like it is. She say she's worried about this time we live in, that the evil one is going for our children, and she is worried about this with the schools, that school system. It's like everything is an evil agenda to take the kids in early age, and she says she is talking to you that have small children that is in the school, that it's there is evil things going on for your children, your kid that is in the school. It's a boy. She say he is not saying that to you, how much problem he have in the school, because they have told him, if he tell you about this, that's gonna happen much more bad things to him in the school. And he's going to the school threatened. He's going to the school feeling lonely because no one there to help him, because there is a group of kids, older kids. You ask me if I can tell you who they are, and I tell you that how I see them and what she give me. Those is 3-4 just in a teenager. They are about 14 years old, around there, and they go and scare those young children. They have easy with the girls, because the girls is a little like smarter than the boys, that they can work around it to not be a target for these 3-4 teenager boys that threaten, especially that boy, and it can happen that he make a suicide, this boy, because it's so tough for him, and he is scared to talk to his parent or his parents, because they have been hard on him already. So he think it should only be worse if he telling. So what this woman is saying to you that have kids, you should wake up, and you should not be so busy in your life. It's not about money. Of course you have to pay your bills for the basic things, for electricity and the house and the car, but you don't need to go out every evening to eat and spend money outside. Instead, you can do something with your children in your home, and make it together with them food to eat in the evening, and have a nice family evening with them, and they open up for you when you do these things. The children be relaxed, and today they are full of stress. The kids, they are not like in the old time when there was no internet and no fast life, and the family sit and eat together at the table in their home, and not were going out to eat food all the time, and that the parents was there for the children, and not today that the parents are doing their do their party life, and the children they get some money and go to other places than what the parents are at, and they are also very separated today, the parents and the children, and we have to bring back that old time when the whole family was sitting at the table and eating dinner together in their home. We have to come back to that, and we need to tell our children that it's okay to not always be the best in the class. It's for someone here that expect your kids to be the first in the first place in the class, be number one in all the tests, everything she is doing. It's a girl that everything she's doing in the school, she should be the best, and come on with this special gift that the teacher give them, that do the best in the class. And you have to tell her, and if there can be a boy also, that it's okay to not always be the best one in the class. It's okay. It's okay to only pass the test. You don't need to have 3 stars in the book. it's okay to have 2 stars in the book. And she's worried about the children. She say that she liked to teach the children. She say that she could have a nanny, have someone take care of her children, because they were wealthy. But she wanted to teach children, and she even not only took her own children, she took other children into like a classroom, but it was in her home, and teach them. She loved to teach. That's why she's worried about what's going on in the school today, because it is too much children that go broken in their soul, in their spirit, and there is too many that make suicide today. She say, I see them all. She's saying, I see them all, and I can't do so much for them when people around them ignore them and not see it, what's going on. I try to make those children try to make the parents pay attention to them, and they don't talk like adult people talk. They talk more with their body languages. They have hard to describe and talk in details what's going on. I wish I had some people here that could ask her questions. I don't know what I should, what question I should ask her about. So, of course, she can answer everything and can tell us everything here. But it must be like pick out things to tell that is for you that listen, that have those kids. And that's an old name. I wonder if there is anyone that have that name. But she says Charles. I don't know if there is someone that have named their boy the name is Charles, because it's in old time, but maybe, I don't know. Because I don't have any people around me. I don't see anyone, so I don't know. But she says Charles. Can you say that the girl's name that think that she must have 3 stars in the book all the time? It's she's on her way to say something with M, like Margaret, like that. I don't know know so many names of children, so I can't come up with something. She had to say something, and I know that in heaven they don't have. It's not important with names, so that's why it's hard for them to say names, because they don't pay attention to what people's name are here on earth. You only recognize them in other way than the names. So I don't. She say Mary now. Marie. That. Marie is. I think it's coming from the French. It's France. It doesn't need to be American names. It doesn't need to be American children. And she is talking about. It can be in England, it can be in Ireland, can be in France. She's talking about. I don't know. That says she gave me this information, but as they can be all over the world, is it not easy to know exactly what country she is talking about, what places she's talking about. But she say Alabama, so that's United States, she's saying. But I think it's France also that she's talking about. But I don't need to know it, because the Spirit knows the Spirit. So you that listen, you know who, if it's you she is talking about. I can't do it because she's not talking to me in that way that Spirit talk to the Spirit. Her Spirit is talking to your Spirit. So you know who you are that she's talking about. I can't know if she not really tell me in detail about it. But she doesn't do that because she rely on her spirit. She is a spirit, so she's relying on that her as a spirit is talking to you that have this spirit in you. It's hard to understand these things because they are talking in another way than what we do that am here on earth. They talking from heaven, from that direction, so they talking different than what we talking that am here on earth. So you need to learn about how they are directing what they are saying. Sometimes they talk to me as a person, but sometimes they talking to you in the spirit, to your spirit. And lately have it been like this, that I have talking, but it's the spirit that have talking through me without I know it. So they have started more take over my body to talk to you. They have done that before, but it's more that I don't know what they are saying to you. And then when I have stopped recording, and then I should upload the episode, and then what did they talk about in the episode? Then I don't know. So sometimes I have written a title that is not really about what they are talking about in the episode, but it's because I don't know what they were talking to you about. You think that is me talking, but it's very much that they are talking. They have taken me away and talking. Like in Africa, when I was in Africa in many churches and was preaching, then I only fall to the floor, and I had to sit and talk to people on the floor. I was sitting on the floor because I couldn't stand up. I have to sit and preaching on the floor, and that was because I was in the spirit, and the spirit took my body away. So I only sit and talk, and people didn't understood that I was speaking in the spirit. I was not talking from my body. I was talking from the spirit, and the spirit didn't need my body to talk. And that's the same thing that happened here. But I'm not standing up like I did in Africa, because they didn't have any pulpit. I have only to stay there on the floor and preaching, and then I fall. But here I can sit and talk, and when the spirits is coming and take me away, I still are sitting in the sofa. I don't fall down. So it's safe for me to sit in my sofa and talk to you. I can't stand up and talk. I have done that in some videos. I have done in earlier videos, like standing up and preaching, and it have been a little scaring for me, as I know it can happen that I fall. And some videos I have said that. In the videos I say, if you don't see me, I'm laying on the floor and talking to you. I say that. I warning them that it can happen. And that's what happened sometimes here. But I don't fall because I sit in my sofa and talk. So thank you for listening. I hope you're learning from and understand what she was saying. It was now she do this with her hand, that she's going away now. So that she's away now. So we thank you for coming, and she is in this portal, this door in the tunnel that this I met in hypnosis told me about. the door. And this is the door that they're coming through. This is a narrow door. It's not the ordinary size of doors. It's very slim. It's very tight and narrow opening, and the door to slide to close it. So thank you for listening, and God bless you.